The wind moved slowly across the Pride Lands, carrying the scent of dust, memory, and something darker that had not yet taken shape. Under a sky painted in deep amber, the land breathed as if it sensed what was coming. Long before the war drums echoed, long before claws struck stone and blood stained the earth, it began with a single moment. Two lions stood at opposite ends of destiny, bound by a feeling neither of them had chosen. Love did not arrive gently. It arrived like fire. He was born to rule. Raised beneath the shadow of Pride Rock, taught that strength meant control and that the circle of life demanded sacrifice. From his first steps, the weight of the crown rested on his shoulders. Every lesson carved him into a king before he had learned what it meant to be free. She was born beyond the borders, where survival meant speed, instinct, and silence. No throne waited for her. No songs were sung in her name. Yet her heart burned brighter than any crown, and her spirit refused to bow. Their first meeting was not marked by thunder or prophecy. It was quiet. A chance crossing near the border where grass thinned and the land began to change. He should have turned away. She should have vanished into the shadows. Instead, they stayed. They spoke with cautious eyes and guarded words, circling each other like strangers who somehow felt familiar. In that moment, the Pride Lands held its breath. Dares turned into stolen meetings. Each encounter deepened what neither dared name. Love grew not as a dream, but as a risk. He knew the laws. She knew the cost. The Pride Lands did not forgive weaknesses, and the Outlands did not tolerate betrayal. Yet love does not ask permission. It demands loyalty, even when the world demands blood. When the elders sensed change, they blamed the wind, the seasons, anything but the truth. But the land always knows. Prey grew restless. Borders tightened. Whispers moved faster than truth. A prince seen beyond his lands was no small matter. A lioness from the shadows, standing too close to the throne, was a spark waiting for fuel. The warning came at dawn. Low growl from the council, sharp and unforgiving. He was told that love could not come before duty, that the Pride Lands had enemies enough without inviting chaos into its heart. She was called a threat, a distraction, a weakness that could unravel everything generations had built. He listened, silent, torn between the roar of tradition and the quiet truth in his chest. She received her warning in a different way. Cold eyes, sharper words. She was reminded that the Pride Lands had taken everything from her kind before. That trust was a lie kings told before war. That loving him would cost her more than leaving ever could. She listened too, her heart aching with a truth she did not want to accept. The night they chose each other, the sky burned red. Stars watched as promises were made without witnesses. No oaths of forever, only a vow to stand together when the world turned against them. They knew war would come. They simply did not know how cruel it would be. The first strike was not claws, but silence. Trade routes closed. Hunting grounds shrank. Old alliances fractured. The Pride Lands accused the Outlands of plotting. The Outlands accused the Pride Lands of arrogance. Love became a rumor twisted into a weapon. Some said the prince had been enchanted. Others said the lioness was a spy. Truth drowned beneath fear. When blood was finally spilled, it was by accident. A border patrol met a hunting party. Words became growls. Growls became violence. By sunset, the earth drank the lives of those who had never known love, never known the reason they were dying. The circle of life shattered in that moment, and the war was born. Stood before his people. Forced into armor made of expectation, he spoke of protection, of honor, of necessity. Yet every word felt like a betrayal. Across the wastelands, she stood before hers, her voice steady despite the storm inside her. She spoke of survival, of resistance, of refusing to kneel. Both spoke truths. Both spoke lies. Love stood between them, silent and burning. Assaults followed like seasons. The grasslands burned. Rivers ran thick with ash. Cubs hid while warriors fell. Songs of victory rang hollow against the cries of the wounded. Each clash pulled them further apart, not in distance, but in who they were becoming. A king hardened by command, a warrior sharpened by loss. They met once more, not as lovers, but as leaders. Between them lay scorched earth and unburied dead. No embrace followed. Only eyes filled with grief and memories too heavy to speak. They did not argue. There was nothing left to say. The war had grown larger than them both. Zah! That night, he questioned everything he had been taught. Was a kingdom worth this cost? Was peace only possible through domination? He remembered the warmth of her presence, the way the world felt whole before crowns and borders turned love into treason. Doubt became his greatest enemy. She questioned herself, too. Was love a weakness after all? Had trusting him doomed her people? She remembered his voice, his gentleness beneath strength, the hope she had allowed herself to feel. Regret cut deeper than any wound. As the final battle loomed, fate prepared its cruelest test. The Pride Lands marched with numbers and tradition. The Outlands advanced with fury and desperation. Neither side could retreat without losing everything. Above them, the sky darkened as if mourning what was about to be lost. In the chaos of the clash, they found each other again, not by choice, but by destiny. Steel met claw. Fire met fury. Around them, the world burned. In that moment, love screamed louder than war. They fought not each other, but the fate that had turned them into symbols of hate. A war. When the dust settled, the land was silent. Victory tasted like ash. The Pride Lands stood, but broken. The Outlands survived, but scarred beyond recognition. No one truly won. At the center of it all stood two figures, alive, but forever changed. The war ended not with celebration, but with mourning. The circle of life would heal, they said. Time would mend the wounds. But love had ignited a war. War had reshaped love into something heavier, something eternal. Their story was no longer just theirs. It belonged to the land, whispered by the wind, carried by the stars. A reminder that love is powerful enough to start wars, and sometimes too powerful to survive them.